Welcome to this episode of Knowledge Booth, proudly brought to you by Media Booth Australia. In this episode, we'll be talking about Customer Relationship Managers, or CRMs for short, and how they'll change the way you do business. Customer Relationship Managers, or CRMs for short, are a very important part of any business. If your business doesn't run one, you need to look at it now. What they basically do is is a central point for you to hold all your customer data, but not only the data, but when you log calls, emails with a client, whatever it may be, you log activities against that customer. Now, we particularly use one called Pipedrive, and my experience over the years is I've spent hundreds of hours developing our own version, particularly for the marine industry. I then stumbled across Pipedrive, and what I found in Pipedrive was just astonishing. It did everything that I was ever setting out to achieve and a whole lot more. It basically gave you a central location to, in their case, log a deal. And a deal is basically any sale that you're working on at the time that hasn't been won and hasn't been lost. Now, in that deal will basically be activities like calls, tasks, emails, reminders. It syncs with your emails, it syncs with your calendar, so everything talks to each other. Off the back of that, we can do a bunch of automation on that as well. So we can send automated text messages when certain criteria are met or triggers. A trigger in an action is basically how automation works. So when something happens, we do something with that. Now, that can save a lot of man hours. It can speed up communication, which, let's be honest, a lot of businesses struggle with. Communication is the key to success, as we all know. And it's also a place where you can integrate things like PandaDoc or Proposify or Xero invoicing. You can do all of this from one central location. You don't have to leave the CRM. You can track when things have been read, when links have been clicked, and so much more. It's really a vital tool to any business in the 21st century, and if you don't have one, you need to start looking at one now, and we highly recommend Pipedrive. We've been a partner for them for well over 2 years now, and they just keep improving time and time again. Pipedrive works in a really simple way. You have a pipeline which you can have multiple of, and that may be, state by state, it might be product by product, it can be whatever you like. And essentially in there, it has a bunch of columns. Now, if you talk about the 7 steps to sales, it may be that you only have 5. The essential way that I set one up would be, lead in, and that's not actioned, right? So that column should always be empty. Next one would be contact made, needs defined, what the customer's looking for, proposal sent or quote sent, and follow up. And those simple 5 steps are a very easy and visual way for you to see where every deal is at any one time on your dashboard. Now, if you work on the road a lot, like I do, many of our staff do, then the mobile app is just as good as the desktop, if not better in some ways. It really is easy to use. You can do audio notes up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. You can do notes, you can do photos, you can do so many different things for the person that's working on the road. You never have an excuse not to use it. So with Pipedrive, after a 12-month period, your average closing ratio will increase by 23%. Now, this was a study done by Pipedrive, and that is a phenomenal rate. Can you imagine your business growing by 25% in 1 year? Now, Pipedrive's pricing structure works on per user basis. It's $29 US per month per user, which some people say that is expensive. I truly don't. For the amount of power that you get out of that system, it's absolutely critical. It's a small price to pay, and if you wanted to invest your own money and go and build your own system to suit your business, it would cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I highly recommend jumping on our website, mediabooth.com.au/Pipedrive, and have a go at the 30-day trial. You can't break it, you can't lose. Give it a go, see how it works out for you. For more information, visit mediabooth.com.au/Pipedrive. Thanks for watching this episode of Knowledge Booth.